What's going on, yo? Welcome back to SteveBussaGS. Yo, my guy has come and joined us today. Please introduce yourself.
What's up, everybody? I go by the name of Novl. That's Novl, in case you get it wrong. I'm an artist, man. I'm an artist. I'm a rapper, producer from South Africa. Let's get it. I'm out here with Steve, man. What's going on, Steve?
We got to do some transparency for y'all real quick. We've been doing this interview for like 45 minutes, and I just lost power, and the whole thing's gone. So we had to do this little fake intro again. Like we wasn't just chopping it up for a fucking hour.
They get it. I don't think anybody doesn't have an iPhone in this lifetime, so they know how technology works, man. That shit can let you down sometimes. You know what I mean? That shit can just let you down. So they get it.
First of all, I appreciate you being super cool about all the wild shit that's happening on this side right now.
No doubt.
I gotta reiterate who you are to me and your music to me real quick before we jump back into the album talk, because I really meant that shit. It's important that my gang knows how I feel about this, right? So before we get into how dope Hold My Beer, Let Me Rap is and all the intricacies that went into making his album, his what you said, this is like your magnum opus right now. It's like your favorite album right now, the pinnacle. Before we get into that, this cat hit me up on Twitter. I had no idea who he was. Didn't know he was a rapper. Didn't know he was an artist, right? Hits me up with a tweet. It's just like, yo, this just dropped. Think you might like it. Just like that. Real super nonchalant, super not pushy, right? Not even bigging it up. And he slides over My City Girl, which is the leading single, I believe, off of Hold My Beer, Let Me Rap.
Yes, sir.
There are very few artists I become a fan of one song. You guys know it takes 3 on the channel alone. And literally went from someone I'd never heard of before. No one else put me on to him or nothing like that. He did it all himself from the muscle, reaching out. And by the end of 2022, when I got my recap from our music streaming sites, he was literally my #1 most streamed artist of 2022. And now he's sitting here kicking it with me. Like, let's go.
That's still crazy to me, bro. Like that's and you got the receipts to prove it. You know what I mean? Like most people just be saying that shit. And you got the receipts to like, yo, we really be bumping your shit out here in Philly, man.
My chick be sick of your shit. I be playing that shit constantly. Look, I need y'all to understand, this is big for me. This is a huge moment. And the fact that I fucked it up and deleted the first 45 minutes and it's still cool with kicking and doing it again. Please tap in with the music. You're going to add new shit to your playlist left and right.
Bro.
I don't want to cheese out. Go ahead.
I do want to recap on that album. That album question though. The previous album question. I do feel like So
let's do the other stuff. So he's an artist from South Africa. He went through. Been doing this professionally in the music industry for 3 years now. So 2018 is when a lot of the more professional, in the industry drops came. But you've been rapping since you were 16, so over a decade in the game. Used to go by Lyrical Novl. Realized that was a trash name.
It was a trash name. Finding out that there's somebody called Lyrical Murder just pissed me off, bro. Like I'm still mad about that shit. I was like, hell to the nah. We're not doing this no more, bro. We gotta drop that. Like I'm saying, like Steve, sorry to pause a little bit. Like think about this, right? When you hear somebody's called lyrical something, what's the first thing that you think about? What's the first thought that you have? Like if somebody's just called lyrical flow, for example,
I am very inclined not to listen. I'm extremely there are a few monikers that are just like, you can tell where someone's at in their career. There's 2 things.
My point is
you can tell it, right? Like, all right, you're still in high school. Like, that's cool. Like, this is you're getting your feet wet. All right, it's not wrong with it. We all got to start somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
And then the second thing is like, you don't have any friends that care about you because they let you be named Lyrical Miracle Jr. And you think that that's the hardest shit ever.
And you okay with that? You okay with that? Like you you live and yet you embody
on
that.
your
like,
chest,
yeah,
with your chest, like, lyrical
I had to drop
danger.
that.
Let's go.
That's a shout out to Lyrical Murder, man. Thank you. You saved my career, man. You made me realize a lot.
Yo, he's somewhere mad right now. He probably a fan of you too. Look, you just
Dog.
in here shit talking him. You lost the fan. You
No,
-1 fan so far for this
bro,
interview.
He was probably my rival. He was trying to prove who's a better lyrical, man. Like, yeah.
That's wild. We should take all the lyricals, all the lils, all the like common names and have them all battle. Only one gets to keep
fight
it.
for the name. You know that gladiator type of like fight for your name, like last man standing type of like, put them all in one room and
one after another. Only one comes out.
Yeah, weapon of choice.
Lyrical danger. Man, you're just Josh now. You're just Josh. All right.
Anyways, man, let's get back to track.
Finish the recap. Look, man, they done fucked your name up and this and everything. Hold up, let me get this all situated. What other things ended up transpiring while we?
We did talk about the previous albums, man. In just a recap for that, in 2018, I dropped an album called "It Must Be the Lows." In 2019, I dropped "For My Conscience." 2022, we did "Oh Sweet Black Child" first, and then "Hold My Beer." But I do want to recap on "It Must Be the Lows." It's a very important album for me because that's where all of this, me being in the industry, started off. You know what I mean? Like all of this rebranding and all of this, me just embodying being an artist, you know, discovering myself, understanding what it is to just make a song, not just to rap, you know, like make a song, you know, arrange a song, hooks, melodies, you know, all of that started with that project. So I hold it very dearly to my heart. And yeah,
let me ask you questions about that. Out. Was there ever a time, because like when I listen to your music now, currently,
yes, sir.
It's harder to see the evolution if you weren't following it from the beginning, because I just seen this version of you from the jump. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Thinking about the lyrical moniker and things like that, were you one of the artists, like, you are very musical? Like, I don't consider you to be barred up, like all I'm gonna do is get a 16, tap in 16, and then I'm out. Like, you hit the melodies, you know what I'm saying? You hit the harmonies and shit like that. And like, there's definitely a more musical feel and texture to your voice and to the actual ambience in the song. Was that the transition into that, or were you like one of the cats who were like, nah, I'm not gonna sing, I'm just a rapper? Or like, did you have to grow into that, or like?
I had to grow into that. Look, I spent a lot of time listening to jazz, 70s music, funk. You know, that's my shit. I love that shit. You know what I mean? Sam Cooke's, love that shit, man. It's just my type of favorite music to listen to. So I would imitate it. You know what I mean? Like I would sing like indie rock. I would sing on my own when I'm just listening to the music. But when I get to the studio, I had a desire to do that, but I was also scared to do that, you know? And then one of my boys I came up with, his name is M. Evans. M. Evans particularly on For My Conscience. You know what I mean? Because I still feel like even with It Must Be the Lows, yes, I was, you know, doing the hooks and whatever, but I wasn't as musical as I am right now. So with For My Conscience, I worked on that project with him, with M. Evans, and he was just like, yo, bro, I don't care. You about to sing. I'm going to teach you range. I'm going to teach you different melodies because I know you be listening to that 70s music, singing your lungs out in the car. Why can't you guys just do the same shit in the fucking studio? You know what I mean? Like, you love that shit, you know? So he was basically just my teacher of comfortability in me getting into that, in me getting comfortable with my singing voice and my melody voice and just being like, be free. Don't, if you have an idea, if you feel like you want to use this type of vocal range, try it out, be free. You know, that was my guy. And to get a stamp of approval from another homie of mine who basically taught me everything about rap, called Push. I forgot to mention that in the first half, but his name is Push. He's basically the reason why I even started rapping in the first place. He's just an amazing artist. I look up to that. I look up to that guy. So now to get that stamp of approval from him and be like, shit, now you make a music, it just took off. I just became
how much of you
this person.
is engineered and how much of it is really you singing and holding those melodies?
Literally, you're gonna think I'm lying, but 5% is engineered.
Really? So like
95%.
your live versions be just as soulful as the studio version.
When I rehearse enough.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm gonna say it straight up. When I rehearse enough, definitely. But yeah, 95%. I don't remember a time where I'm being told that they added autotune to my shit. I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember engineer ever saying, "Oh yeah, I added some little bit of autotune there because you were sounding good." Nah, everything has always just been so pure. Has always just been so pure. You know what I mean? I just, obviously, you've been in the studio before. I do stack up my vocals when I need to,
right.
to do whatever range. But it's literally me. It's literally I know this because I don't know if you I did a show last year, and I remember after that show, and everybody just came up to me, because as I'm still on the come up, a lot of people are not familiar with me. I remember after my performance, everybody's coming to me and just saying, "You have such a unique voice. Like how you change your vocal tones and your ranges. Like, yeah, it's like how do you do that, and how do you do that live?" And I'm like, I don't know. That's something I just been working on my entire life, I guess, at this point, So yeah, it's definitely 95% me and 5% just engineered.
That leads me into a very an interesting conversation that I plan to get to later anyway, but I figure it's a dope transition, right? So
yes, sir.
There are artists, we talked about this off camera actually a little bit. There are artists that are just genuinely really, really good at certain things, and they have certain artists who are mid, right? We may or may not have been trashing some artists before we decided to start recording. So like I will say this, and like while we're on record, and what I'm saying, while we're having these conversations, I'm never talking to you, I'm always talking to my audience so that they know why to tap in and listen to a new artist and stuff like that, right? From when the clips come
yes,
out.
sir.
So you are one of the few artists that I believe have the it factor. You have this X factor about you that can't be duplicated. Like there are artists out there who can bar some shit up, but like there are a lot of artists who can bar some shit up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
when you start getting into the musicianship side of things, when you start getting into understanding the music theory that makes the music sound good to begin with, I think it's a little bit different. And your voice, first of all, is incredible. If I haven't told you that already, your voice is fucking incredible, dog. It's distinct.
Appreciate
I know you when you come on a track, there's no confusing, like, oh, he sounds like so and so and so and so. This, that, and the third, right? Like that, like that's Novl when Novl comes on the track, right? And it's like that's you feel it feels like I'm listening to a star when I hear your music. It feels like I'm listening to somebody. And I say that, and I don't say that lightly, right? Because understand my perspective. I get 100 people a day that send me music to listen to. I hear if you have 15 people on your block that rap, 10 of them hit me up for a reaction. You know what I'm saying? Like I hear
thanks.
I know what people sound like. I know I know what Queen sounds like. I know, you know what I'm saying? Like and it's like Novl sounds like Novl. And that's one of the dopest things about you. And that's one of the things that I appreciate as a listener, where it's like it's a good palate cleanse. If you have too much of the same shit, throw this cat on your fucking playlist and it breaks it up a little bit. Now, there have been times where I've heard what I would consider to be very distinct influence in some of your music. And I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be wrong. So I figured if I ever had a chance to chop it up with you, I wanted to ask you about this because like you have a song, what was it, like Calculations or something like that it's called?
Calculative.
Calculative is one of my favorite songs for me. I don't know if you know that. I love the shit out of it. I know I talk about my city girl all the time.
I saw it on the playlist as well.
Bro, Calculative is that shit. But it sounds when I hear that song, I get a lot of Midwest US influence, right? There's an artist named Packy who I hear, I'm like, man, Packy on this song would fit so well. Like the swag, the flow, stuff. And I'm like, I don't think he's ever. There's no way he would have even had like a smaller artist. You know what I mean? Like I'm like that'd be such a weird niche thing if that was lined up. So like, what I want to know is who does actually influence you musically. Whether it not to say like you take their sound or nothing like that, but just like gets you into that creative mode and makes you want to create and like brought you to where you are now.
Like I said, one of my first influences, my boy Push, how you spell it, Phosh, you know, hey Push, he makes music. He's one of my first inspirations because he's the first guy I've ever noticed that made music. He didn't rap. He made music. He stacked up his vocals. He backed up. He was melodic. You know what I mean? Like he made, and I always admired that. I was always like, fuck man, if I could remotely even sound like that guy, I'm onto something. You know what I mean? I can't tell you whether he retired or not right now, you know, because he's one of my closest friends ever. But he hasn't made music in like a good 4 years right now. But he always says to me, you're something that I'm proud of. You're a product that I'm proud of because you keep just taking it higher. So that is where it started, you know? And then obviously my influences in listening to the 70s music as well, and jazz, and hearing jazz singers and funk singers. What I love about most funk singers, you know, and people who sing in some of these jazz songs and whatever, they're not the perfect vocalists.
I agree.
But
I get what you're saying.
Just, do you get what I mean? Like they're not the perfect vocalists, but they sing so well. Like so.
I got a perfect example for you. Like I get what you're saying, right? Like I love Adele. I think Adele makes beautiful music. But I would never trick myself into singing Adele while people are around, right? And then you know what I'm saying?
Like, yes, sir. Yeah.
And then there's the bull who's Osiris White I think is his name. And he had that song that came, I give you the world, baby girl. I be singing that shit with my whole heart.
You be singing
with
that
my
shit
whole
with
heart. I do. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
So it's I know it sounds tricky what I'm saying, but for real, it's like these guys are not they're not the perfect vocalist, whatever. But like when they sing, you know what I mean? Like you feel that, range.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like they're not trying to go outside of their range. And shit,
like. So my earliest memories of me just imitating that, to me getting comfortable with that, it's that's influential. And then I gotta now mention, I gotta go Nas, I gotta go Kendrick. My goodness, Kendrick Lamar is, he's the greatest artist I've ever established in my entire existence. Just how he makes music, I can't. I'll be honest. Every single time I make an album, Good Kid, Mad City is my blueprint. I ask myself, is this better than Good Kid, Mad City? Every single album, storyline, how cohesive it is. Because everything about that album for me is the perfect rap album. You know what I mean? The feel, it feels tangible. You look at the cover, you see an old ass van. You know what I mean? Like his mom's van is the cover art, right? And you listen to the album, and it's the story about this 17-year-old kid who went on this crazy ass night with his friends, and he lost one of his friends. His friends died. His parents are calling him consistently. He got jumped because he got set up because he was trying to go look for this girl, and all of this shit happening in one night. And how he made sure that that whole story is cohesive. It's like a Pulp Fiction type of shit. Like, and when you look at the cover and you listen to the music and you listen to the skits and you listen to the feel, the texture, it's everything. And you're like, I want to make music like that. And that's, for me, that's the blueprint. And that's one of my favorite influences. Kanye West as well when it comes to quality and production. Kanye is everything when it comes to just quality, arrangement, production. So yeah, those are my influences. I take bits and pieces from everybody. Nas for his writing ability, Kendrick for his use of flows and voices. I've always loved that, and how he tells his stories. You know, I've always loved that, and how he makes his albums. Kanye West for Ye's quality is just always has have heavy influence on me. Has always impressed me, like just how he picks his soundscape and just how quality it is, man. That's all I can say about it. Yeah.
That was an in-depth answer. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's get back to Hold My Beer, Let Me Rap. Because I still got a lot of questions about the new drop that I want to dig into.
Yeah.
So we'd spoke before, and this was one of the things we definitely wanted to get into. It was about like the actual naming of the album and the process of which it came out. I don't even remember what we covered on this one and what we covered on the last one. So I'm just like all like you were really big about being hands-on and in I did this by myself. Like I'm the one that picked out this. You know what I'm saying? Like the way that you were just very, very like hands-on with the creation and the production, everything like that. So let's pick up. Let's do that again. Let's go into that.
I think what you asked me was what was different with Hold My Beer, Let Me Rap compared to the other projects, and why, quote unquote, maybe the success of it, like, compared to other projects, and the transitioning of your artistry in this one compared to the other ones. And I said, it's because this is the first project I was fully like hands-on. Like I did this one. Sorry about this. Are you still there with me? Sorry about that. I did this one by myself, in the sense that I was in the studio alone when I recorded this album. I picked the beats by myself. I made the arrangements by myself. I made the feature picks by myself. I was very, very hands-on in drawing the structure of how this album is going to be and how this album is going to sound like. Do you know what I mean? I made it out. I was in studio every night by myself to make this project, because for me, it was a thing of I'm either gonna make the greatest shit I've ever made, or I don't want to make music anymore. Like if I have to not make music anymore, this is the last shit I want you to remember me with. And so that's why it sounds so rich, and that's why it sounds as good as it does. You know what I mean? Like I needed you to feel something. I needed you to, as I mentioned before, I'm obsessed. The reason why I make music is because I'm obsessed with creating a feeling. Because I know that people can always forget what you say to them, but people never forget how you make them feel. So for me, I was very invested in creating that feeling.
Dropping like bars in the interview, my guy.
I was just so obsessed with just making that feeling, man. Just creating that feeling was a big deal for me, and so I did that. I made sure that I embody that, and this is by far the greatest body of work to date that I've ever made. By far.
When did you feel that way? So like during, I don't know, like obviously, the songs aren't necessarily created in the order that, they're placed on the album, but like how many songs into the creation of this album did it take before it dawned on you where you were like, this is my best shit ever? Like this is the standard now.
When we finished Holy Waters, I remember I Am Gifted come over. And when I work, I'm so hands-on that when I work with an artist, like if I'm planning out a feature or something, when you arrive at my house to record or at the studio or wherever, everything is already laid out. like I'm so precise that my features are so specific. I know what vocal range you have. I know what writing ability you have, and I know where I need you and how I need you. So when you come, you basically come there on, just to eat on a silver platter. You just come there to just complete the work. You get what I mean? So definitely when I Am Gifted came through and he laid the vocals for Holy Waters, because he's a guy featured on Holy Waters. Yeah, just hearing that before the mix and mastering was even done, I knew. I was like, yeah, it's gone. It's we done. Like I'm not even gonna. It's done. Like I knew. I was like, yeah, we off. It's done. I don't want to talk about it
into it before you recorded that? Like which one was that?
That was like what I had at that time. I had funny enough, my City Go wasn't written, wasn't recorded yet. I had the hook, I had the first verse. What did I have at that time? I had Gorgeous, I had 7 Dragon Balls, I had Protect the Kids, I had what else did I have? I had the first version of Contemplations Part 2. The first version. Because this is the same. I had the first version. Yeah, I think I only had that. I only had those 4 records.
4 tracks into it, you were like,
this
is the one.
I was done. My City Go was written. It wasn't recorded. Don't Blame God was written, which I want to get into that story later, but I'll get into that story because it's one of the deepest songs in that cut. Don't Blame God. It was written as well, not recorded. Because sometimes I do this thing where I get into this phase where I write more than I record. Where I'm just like writing. I'm writing. And my albums, they sound the way they sound is because there's this album tradition that I do where I write the track list over and over again on paper. Over and over again, over and over. There's literally a video on Twitter where I show people that one of the times I was writing the checklist, like just papers of me writing the checklist down, because I embody the album so much that it needs to play in my head without even me hearing it. Like that's why I make it so it literally just plays in my head without me even putting on earphones and actually listening like, oh shit, this is how the song sounds. No, it just plays in my head because it needs to be cohesive. I'll literally be zoning out in the middle of the day, like as if I'm daydreaming, but I'm literally fucking rearranging a track list in my head. I go, no, that needs to come there first. That's how much I embody this shit. So yeah, just going to that process, I knew I'm like, yeah, this is it. This is it. We're not playing.
You giving me a lot of natural transitions here. This is working really well for the stuff that I had planned. I want to ask you some personal questions.
Yes, sir.
So and you're one of this. I always have these things in my pocket where it's like, man, if I get a chance to talk to an artist where this is relevant, I want to bring these topics up so I can like really pick their brain about it. And I won't forget this. When I decided that this was one of the things I wanted to hit you up about, it was Sunday. I was driving to grab my son, and I'm listening to Holy Waters on a Sunday morning. It's beautiful, sun's out, windows are down, birds are chirping and shit. And it got me thinking, like, there's a lot of like religion is definitely a motif in Hold My Beer, Let Me Rap. There's a lot of religious imagery. There's a lot of just straight out, conversations about God and things like that. So like my questions are these. Number one, what religion are you? Do you identify as?
I'm Christian. I grew up Christian, raised by a single mother she don't play. Sunday morning, she don't care where you been. We're gonna wake up, we're gonna go to church. We're gonna go to all the all-night prayers. we're gonna spend the 31st of New Year's Eve in church. My mother doesn't play around, so I'm Christian, but it went from being a religion that I grew up with to a religion that I embodied, and just to also, I don't want, for lack of better terms, correct. It's not a religion to me. Christianity is a lifestyle. You know what I mean? Christianity comes from the term to be Christ-like. It's what the disciples came up with because, or it's rather the people in that era came up with to call the disciples because they did everything that Christ did. So they came up with the term Christianity because these people are Christ-like. They imitate this man that they're following. You know what I mean? So that already tells you that it's Christianity. It's a lifestyle. It's a way of living. It's not. You don't practice it. You know, God is in you, and you are in God. Christ is in you, and you are in Christ. You know, that's how the Bible says, "Remain in me, and I'll remain in you, as I remain in the Father." So you don't practice Christianity; you live it. You understand? So that's what I am. But for worldly terms, we just say what religion you are, and I'm Christian. And yeah.
So obviously this is more than just a bar to you, right? This is obviously a lifestyle, something that's been intrinsic, you've been brought up that way, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's in the family
Yes,
and
sir.
everything like that. Is there ever, how do I want to word this? So obviously there's like 3,000 gods, right? That, you know, different denominations, different religions, things like that.
Yeah.
So like I guess my question to you is like, do you ever feel as though, or does it ever come across your mind that there could be some type of isolation of your fan base? Do you want there? Do you purposely try to isolate part of the fan base into those who are of similar faith when you speak about God? Or is it more like it's like how you experience God, you believe to be the same as how other people experience God, regardless of you know what faith they follow or how they define it, and it's more welcoming for everybody? What is your own personal view on that? As much as you're
Look,
willing to share.
look, I've always believed, and I've always told a lot of my friends this. I've been friends with different religion aspects and different views of life. I have Muslim friends. I have, you know what I mean? I have people who are just not even religious at all, you know, in that aspect. And I always say to them, it's so important to you to go where you find peace. And my perspectives of Christianity and my views of Christianity and my stand on Christianity is to not force feed you those things, but it's to invite you if you are looking for a place where you feel like you need peace. But it's not forceful. It's just to invite you that if you feel lost and you don't know where to go, this is where I find my peace, and I would like to invite you to that. But if you're okay, then that's also okay. There's no judgment. There's no condemnation. But if you feel like here's the thing. This is the type of music I make. I make music that forces you to face your reality, and at the same time, music that helps you heal and understand yourself better. I make music that connects you with God, connects you with yourself, and connects you with people. That's the type of music that I make. You get what I mean? But because I make that type of music, the God factor is important. It's key. You know what I mean? And I'll never ever deny that. The God factor in my music it's high. I mean, my alias is literally the broken prophet. I can't run away from that. You know what I mean? Like I can't run. I'm a modern preacher, basically. You know, but that's just how it is. I don't think I isolate the fans. I think in general everybody's looking for a higher power, and everybody's looking for peace in general. I don't know anybody who hasn't loved peace. Everybody loves a peace of mind. So my music has always been an invitation that, look, for me, this is where I find my peace. And I'm always going to consistently invite you by painting these pictures of reality and forcing you to face reality and forcing you to face yourself and forcing you to reconnect with yourself and reconnect with people and reconnect with God. That's why.
That's dope. Does
So I
that
don't know if that
influence?
answers.
No, that was beautiful. I appreciate. No, that was beautiful. I appreciate you
Yes, sir.
fully explaining yourself. That was dope.
Yes,
Um,
yes, sir.
does that? So I guess the follow up question to that is then is there's two. There's one on let's do it from the writing aspect, right? Do you find
Mm-hmm.
yourself ever struggling with like hypocrisy in making music that is more aggressive or derogatory or on subject matters that are definitely more human than divine? Or is that also
Mm.
just part of being human is acknowledging that we fuck up and the goal is to always be better and do better, not to be perfect?
I think definitely the latter in terms of just acknowledging that we're human and we fuck up. You know what I
So
mean? As you
never,
say.
never any. So there's never any like internal dialogue or internal struggle when writing a bar where it's like, man, 2 bars ago I was just talking about, I'm bringing peace to people, and now it's a gun bar, and now I'm calling a girl a bitch, and now like there's never any kind of internal any like anything with that.
To some extent, yes. But here's the thing about my music in general. My music has always been a tug of war. In the sense of it's like a tug of war of like good and evil sometimes. It's a constant tug of war of good and evil in the sense that in the same album that I made Holy Waters, I made a song called Gorgeous, where I say I can get with no basic little hoe because I'm gorgeous. You know what I mean? And I was just a couple of tracks ago, I was just saying I need the holy waters. Do you get what I mean? But for me, it is also just to paint a picture of that's life. Life is the yin and yang. Life is both sides of the coin. That's just how life works. You know what I mean? And that's just how I am at the same time. I am sorry, Steve, are you still there? I think
Yeah,
my
you good, you
phone's
good, you good, you
tripping a
good.
bit. My bad. It's also just to paint you a picture of who I am. I'm both this people. I'm both the preacher and the sinner.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And but the bigger purpose of it is that I hope to one day not be the sinner. I hope to one day be better than these vices. Do you know what I mean? Because if I have to give you the explanation of what Hold My Beer Let Me Rap stands for, Hold My Beer Let Me Rap is the story about this guy who's basically saying this preacher, this prophet, this broken prophet. That's why when you start the album, it says the broken prophet will now speak. It's this album about this guy who says, um, um, excuse my vices in order for you to hear my truth. I'm fucked up. I'm this guy. I drink. I you know what I mean? I have troubles with relationships and women, and troubles with commitment and all of this. But excuse those vices, and let me attend to your heart for a little bit. So, in other words, hold my beer, hold my vices just for a little bit. I'm coming back for them because they really are who I am. You know what I mean? Like, hold
Right.
that beer. I'm coming back for it. So I can just speak to this audience that will not listen until they see this image of this guy who's maybe seem perfect or maybe seem you know what I mean, like he
Right.
knows
No,
what
I
he's
got
doing,
you.
you know what I'm saying?
That's fire.
Yeah. And then after that, I'm going back to my beer. I'm still going back to my beer and carrying on with my life, but the duty was done.
Interesting. So
That's the main point. The main point is
will
that the duty was done. Yes, sir.
will we see an evolution in your message, in your language, in your in your vices? Will we see an evolution in that as you I don't want to say something that sound ignorant, you know what I mean? But like as you get
Yes,
closer to
sir.
God, as you find, you know what I mean, as you achieve, you know what I'm saying, whatever the proper wording is to be PC about that. But like, you know what I'm saying, as you find your religion, as you get deeper into it,
I get what you say. I get what you're saying, definitely. And yes, I think the more closer I get to God, the more of the more closer you get to God, the more of yourself you become. which originally is you being of God and being this image of God. Do you know what I mean? We humans are representative of the image of God. It's just that we lost, in a way, I hate to preach, but in a way, we lost the sight of that, of being the perfect image of God. So, but the more you seek God, is the more likely you will become that perfect image of God. So there is no way in my search of who God is and in my search of who Christ is, there's no way I won't change. And the more I change, the more the music is gonna change. You know what I mean? It's basic as the older I got, the more my writing changed. I don't rap about the same things I used to rap about when I was 16 years old. You know, it's deeper, it's more realer. That's why I'm so sensitive, even just putting out everything, or putting out just anything out there. So definitely, you will see. It's impossible for a person to get closer to God and not change. I don't see it happening. So definitely it will happen that way.
I know these questions were a little left field. I don't know if you expected to be having this deep of a conversation on a hip hop interview.
No. I'm good. I like these type of conversations because they're really part of the music that I make. So I can't escape these questions. I can't escape this type of conversation because if you really dig deep and dive in, like the fact that I say the first half of Contemplations literally says, "Save my soul, bring me home." That's the chorus. Save my soul, bring me home. And then now you go into the second half of the song where it says, I can't stop my dreaming days. I cannot be this way. You know what I mean? Like it talks about like I can't be this person trapped in this lifestyle that I'm living. I need to be better. So it's context like that and writing like that won't allow me to escape these type of questions and these type of conversations because they really are part of who I am and a part of the music. And anybody who truly listens knows that. Like they will know that.
I want to say this right. I believe you. I believe that you believe what you are saying. Like this doesn't sound like an off the cuff answer. This sounds like something that you've sat with and you've, is actually a part of you. It's not an interview question answer. You know what I'm saying? Like this is like,
sir.
I do. I feel like you're really giving us a view of like who you really are. Like that's really dope. I appreciate that. Like that's fire to see that. Like I gotta figure. I mean, a lot of times when I talk to people, they don't expect anything past surface conversation, and the fact that you're willing to share like that, that's really dope. The second part to that question that I had isn't about the writing though; it's more about your ear now, right? So being as how like knowing this about you now, and how big or how important like your idea of God and religion or your spiritual path, whatever that is, like is to you. Does that affect like when I think of God, I put like if I need a religious moment for some reason, right? If I'm just having a rough time, I think like the first thing that comes to my mind is like P.O. or Stogie T, because these are people that I affiliate those feelings and those emotions being conveyed really, really well too. Do you find yourself more inclined to listen to artists like that or less inclined because you are also trying to make that kind of music?
I won't lie. As deep as it is and as important as it is that we nitpick what we watch. You are, like as they say, you are what you eat. We nitpick what we watch, what we listen to. I'm not extremely selective that this is the type of artist I'm only gonna listen to. Do you get what I mean? I listen to music from different perspectives. And that's the reason why I'm able to listen to all music in all genres. So I can't say me being that type of artist makes me only want to listen to those type of artists and draws me to only those type of artists. Do you know what I'm saying? That is just, it's as if it's there on its own. It stands there on its own. It's I am how I am.
Does it add or take anything away to like an artist's like overall ranking in your mind? Like, are you more inclined or less inclined or nothing at all? Or it is a thing. It's just
not really. Not really. Like, I'm not gonna, for example, I'm just giving an example. I'm not gonna give P.O the #1 spot simply because he's speaking about that over, you know, over, I don't know,
artist X
whoever.
that doesn't talk about it at all. I got
that
you.
doesn't talk. No. It's not based on that. You know, you get what I mean? Yeah, it's just, but I do appreciate that. Oh, okay. So this person is just of similar traits as me in the sense of I hear that you talk about that, which is important, you know. I do believe, like I said, I believe in a higher power, and I always will be, and I do believe that it should be something that people talk about more. But yeah.
That's dope. No, I appreciate you diving into all that for me. That's it on that topic. Now I will say this. So you talked about, like while you're digging into your vices, this is my favorite part of the interview. So this is the part I was excited for. So like while you're digging into your vices, you know what I'm saying? That's still a part of who you are. And that really brings me to my city girl, right? Which is like, bro, when I want you to understand, like, I could be a whole asshole when it comes to this music critique. And when I heard this shit, dog, I felt seen. I was like, this is one of my homies. I'm like, he had to be Waco Street and we had to have fucked a couple of the same bitches because he sounds like he's been hurt in the same ways that I have. And like, I have some questions, my guy, about this. So, like, there are people who can create art that is not based on the life that they live, right? So what I want to know is when the relationship that you depicted in My City Girl, is that a reflection of how you actually feel about you and whatever situationship? I don't know if you know what your situation is right now, but is that how you actually live your life and hold your standards of your relationship, or
like that?
Or was that a good bar? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so funny story. My City Girl is actually based on a true story. Like, there's a girl who I had that type of relationship with, where it's just it's toxic in the sense that it's just it's on and off, but I know she for me and I'm for her. You know what I mean? I know I will get her back inside my work. I know I will get her. You get what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? I know, you know what I mean? It's literally based on a true story. Like, and she's my city girl in the sense that I'm fucking in love with this girl, bro. Like, I love her. You know what I mean? Like as fucked up as this shit is, at the end, that's the reason why the song towards the end says, I fell in love with my best friend. I'm loving her ways. No, she gets about a lady. She got expensive taste. I'm getting nerdy looks. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it was like it was a thing of, I want you to know that as fucked up as this is, I love that girl. And I know she loves me. You get what I mean? But in terms of relationships, I am low-key that person because I sometimes refer to myself as the good bad guy, in the sense that I'll buy you breakfast, I'll buy you dinner, but I'm not being with you. I'm not staying with you. You know what I mean? I will. A lot of girls has told me that you're a good asshole because you do all the right things. But I
told you he was gang. I told y'all he was gang. Stop it. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm sorry. Steve, hold on. You gotta pause. My battery's on pissing. I gotta get my charger. Hold on.
And we're back. All right, go.
Hey, bro, as I was saying, I'm that type of person. Like, I can treat a female good. I can buy flowers and everything, but when it has to not come to it, I'm an asshole. You know what I mean? Like, as I don't follow through to the final thing that this woman would want out of me. You know what I mean? And I've always been like that. I've had my fair share, man. But
Let's
I think what always intrigues these females is the fact that I can be such a good guy. Like, I can be I think that's what makes it more fucked up. It's like this guy is.
No, it's not more fucked up. That's the way it should be. That's the way it should. Look. You talk. I've been preaching to the choir, right? This the song that you're talking right now, right? When I heard my city, I was like, oh my god, he been following me around with a pen and paper, right? Like he been writing about my life. Like this is really the way that it is. That is all true. Every bit of it is true, right? Down to the toxicity. Down to the way that it just adds to the nastiness that you fucking love. You just love them for them, right? And it's like
that's another thing, cause like I could I'm a nasty ass man. Like I don't even want to get I don't want to get into it. I don't want to, but I think the song says a lot. But at the same time, I do want to say this. I am a firm believer of love. I am a firm believer of but doing it right, you know what I mean? Like I love when I really love. Like I'm commitment. I'm committed and I'm present, you know? And
here's the big thing, because I think we have a lot of similarities, right? That so like here's my the 2 cents on what you're saying, right? It's being big on love I think is a beautiful thing when you don't go by society's standards and definitions of what they should be, and instead you love the way that you love and the way that someone else needs to be loved, the way that they need to be loved. And my city girl fucking preaches that shit. Like there's certain things, like you're gonna hear that, and there will be a sect of people who will hear like, hey, that's my bitch, and they'll be like, you don't love her, you would never call somebody fucking a bitch who you love, like he's a piece of shit, like why would you ever be like him, like blah blah blah. It's like, bro, you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, right? Like relationships are all about nuance, right? You have no idea about the interactions of my relationship and what makes my relationships work. And 9 times out of 10, I'm happier than you are. And she's happier than your bitches.
Exactly. Like this is our thing. Like don't get in between of our thing and what we got going on.
Exactly.
Like that's our shit, you know what I mean? Like
the best friend shooting looks like, come on, man. Like,
mind your own business, you know? That's what I believe in. And love is a beautiful thing and it should be embraced fully, you know, by everyone. I think everyone deserves to be loved out there. I think everyone deserves to be with somebody, but understand your relationship. Don't let people and outside world and outside politics be so involved in what you guys are that you guys don't even know what you guys are anymore.
Facts.
Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, absolutely. People are caught up in labels. They want labels. They want titles that they didn't create, that they didn't make the parameters for, that they don't believe in. People want relationships that they don't believe in because they think they have to get married, or they think they have to have a baby by this age, or like whatever. Like it's your life. If you're watching this, guy, girl, I don't give a fuck. It's your life. Your life can look like whatever you want.
I'm gonna go back to what I said earlier on, Steve, when I said you gotta go where you find what?
Peace. Facts.
Everything in life, guys, always circles back to peace. Do what, as long as you're not hurting people, do what finds you peace. Do whatever the fuck you want. As long as you're not hurting.
We are the same person. I love this shit. This is dope as fuck. I'm telling you, like everything that you're saying, Doug, this is gold. This is like shit that I've been preaching since day one. You got to come to Philly. We got to kick it at least once. Like, I'm gonna hit you when I get out there. Like something's got to go down. We need our own segment. We need to teach a relationship class. I'm telling you, I got to get you on one of my relationship talks.
A relationship podcast or some shit.
Straight up. And it's in the music. Don't take my word for it. Yeah. Go listen to, do the same path that I did. I listened to My City Girl. It was the first song I ever heard. And Doug, it's like as I'm listening, I'm like, this is a man who has lived this. Like this is scumbag R&B at its best. This isn't like, oh, I'm gonna make.
I always use that term for it. Like this is scumbag R&B.
That's exactly what it is. But it's real. It's not this fantasy perfect image of like everything's always good and these two people are soulmates and everything about them clicks perfectly. It's like, no, sometimes two pieces of shit can find each other and make each other the most unbelievably happy pieces of shit in the world. And it doesn't like other people's. Oh my god, though, it's a great song.
Like,
Go check it out.
half of the time, this shit is just fucked up. Half of the time, this shit is really not. I only say that like life is not rainbows and unicorns, bro. Like that's not how this shit works, bro. Like shit really be just messed up. But you need to. No one can understand this shit better than. No one can understand your life better than you. I don't think that it's ever gonna be that way. Meaning that all that shit, all the relationships, all of the internal turmoils, everything, you understand it first better than anybody else.
Thanks.
Better than anybody else. And you need to embody that. And the moment you start embodying that, that's when everything in your life will sound at ease and will feel at ease because it needs to be at ease. You get what I mean? Don't let people get involved in your relationship. Get your bro. Get your city girl and be happy. You know what I mean? Like
whatever that looks like. Whatever. Maybe you're boring as shit and you don't want to do none of that. You just want someone to stay inside and fucking read newspapers with until you turn it. There's someone else out there who wants that. Just find someone who wants the same shit as you.
Do you?
If you want to do fucking lines off a stripper's ass and stick your tongue in foreign buttholes, there is someone else out there who will right next to you. They'll fucking line it up. Like there's someone out there who is in, dog, and that's okay. It's like, and he made a good point too. As long as you're not hurting someone else, everything is consensual. And it's a mutual. It's not one person that's manipulating and taking advantage of someone. It's two people who genuinely express love in the same way. Just fucking be happy. Just find your peace.
Like I said, bro, are you at peace? Are you at peace, my leg?
Facts.
If you are, good for you, God.
You're solid. You're solid.
That's it, bro. That ain't no judgment here, bro. You have peace, bro. You're not hurting anybody.
This is the conversation I wanted to have. I was like, I know. As soon as I listen to the music, I'm like, we can really talk about some shit. We can get into some shit. We speak the same language. I like that. This is about the third time you here because that's my bitch. I was like, I'm in. All right, let's go.
I will tell you this on the music perspective. That's one of my probably top 5 of one of my songs I've ever written. Probably top 5. Yeah.
As someone who creates scumbag R&B, do you find that helps or hurts your ability to find? But like, are you judged by women on the music that you make prior to like ever getting involved with them, or is that not really a thing that comes up like that? Is that not normally the order of operations? And that might change the bigger you get. You know what I mean?
I think two dynamics happen when a song like My City Girl is created. You get the girls that say, this guy's an asshole, he's a scumbag. But at the same time, it's like, hey, at least he's honest, you know?
Facts.
At least honest, you know what I mean? And they fucks with that. They're like, okay, I know what I'm getting myself into. I know what I'm gonna get myself into going for a guy like that because he's in black and white. And then you get girls that are gonna be like, yeah, he's a scumbag, he's an asshole, and I want nothing to do with that. You know, and which also it's fake.
It's okay.
It's fake. Like, cool.
You're probably right. You're probably right. Like if you're the type of person where hearing this song is gonna make you feel a type of way, is gonna make you feel sad or unappreciated, then we were never gonna work out to begin with. We don't express love. We don't express love the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like you saved us both. Like, you know, do you saved us both a headache? I do.
That's it. And I take both very well. I accept both. You know what I mean? Like for me, it's cool. I'm very good at accepting being seen for who I am and what I am. I have no problem with that. I have no problem. Like it's
this guy.
It's that's just how I am. You know, I have no problem with that. But like, because I also just I'm very good at seeing people for what they are and what they mean, like who they are, like and I'm cool. For me, it's just a decision of, am I allowing you in my life, or am I being like, I dude, I see what you are, and I'm cool. So I also accept and believe that people should just be the same with me. That's it. And I'm cool with whatever decision you take, bro. I'm cool. Love, whatever you think I'm an asshole, love, it's not good for you. Cool, bro. You think I'm it's cool, love. Whichever one.
I literally was just listening to One Take Timmy before this. What did he say? He said, "True colors is my favorite color." Let's go. Like, be yourself,
That's
dog.
a bar.
That's a bar, my guy. True colors is my favorite color. Like, let's go.
That's a bar. That's a bar.
And it looks good on me. That's
how it is.
That's dope, man. There's a lot of good coming. I could talk on this topic forever. Let's get back to the album. Back to the album though. So you will hear all of this in the music, which is what this conversation stems from, is hearing it from the music. And now that I know, like, there's a thing that I've come to realize, specifically with Twitter. You don't, they say like, don't meet your heroes type thing. I do think that there have been more than a handful of artists who, like, I really, really liked them with their music. And then after I found out and like seen them interact with fans, and, or, you know what I mean, you get some feel of who they are behind the music. It sours my ability to listen to their music, because I don't like who they end up becoming as people. The separation of art from the artist type thing. So like, to hear this come from you directly, and to hear your views on it and expand on it, and that it's not just like a throwaway bar or something you thought sounded cool or something like that. Like this, I'm in more than I was prior to the interview. Like I'm in. Like, let's go. Like that's fire.
I appreciate that, for real, bro. But yeah, you're not wrong about like meeting your heroes. It's a 50-50 thing for me. Do you get what I mean? Because I'll be honest, I don't expect much from my heroes, you know, in terms of how can I explain? I think in terms of how they treat me, not in terms of whether they live their truth or not, but just in terms of if I would meet them and if I would get a certain attitude from them, I don't think that would matter for me. But if I would find out that, for instance, if I find out that Kendrick doesn't really believe in you know, the black movement and the black power like that, I'll be fucking pissed off, because I'm just gonna be like, what the fuck, bro? Right. Like, you know what I mean? Then was that all for sure? You know, it's like, I always like giving this example. I don't know if you watched that show called The Boondocks.
Boondocks,
yeah. When Riley saw Gangstalicious drop the gun, and he like, you a fraud, you know what I mean? So obviously, like, you know, sometimes this shit is real to me. Like, rap music it's real for me, you know. So I need to believe you. I truly believe that Pusha really chops up white, wherever, like, you know, like, you know what I mean? Like, so it is.
You'd be very disappointed to find out Pusha T didn't know how to use a scale. That would be that would be heartbreaking.
You know what I mean? So I think to some extent, it is really important that you embody and you live what you write. But the other aspect of the term "never meet your heroes," that I don't care about is, if I meet Kendrick and he's an asshole, or he's just doesn't care, or he doesn't, it wouldn't make me stop listening to his music.
Right. Because
the bigger thing is he still about black movement? Is he still speaking truth? That I always feel like, yes, he is. What's one interaction with me gonna change? Nothing, really. Right. You know what I mean? In the sense of, what asshole interaction with me that I got from him going to change about his music? Nothing. He's still Kendrick, and he still speaks a lot of truth, and I will still keep listening. I'll still respect that. I think in terms of just that's where I'm at. Yeah.
I think for me personally, I have a lot of stuff that's up in there. I agree with what you're saying about the whole If someone's an asshole, that's not really going to change my opinion because, like, who the fuck am I? Like, you don't need to talk or treat me a certain time. Like, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, life is hard. You got a million and one things on your mind. You're probably not thinking that individual fan interaction is going to change their view of the world. You know what I mean? Like, of all the good that you bring to someone's life, when someone becomes that much of a fan of you, to be a hero, you know what I'm saying? Like, the good is always going to outweigh the bad. But I think, I don't know. I got kind of bombarded with it. Like, I wasn't on Twitter like that. I only joined Twitter to tweet out my videos. That was it. Like, I didn't plan on Twitter becoming such an essential tool in networking and meeting people and blah 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 blah. So, like, I think part of that is like, wow, I never expected that this was the info that I would be getting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was only expecting links and pictures, and I wasn't expecting like to get the behind the scenes kind of view. And I think that I think it's something I still have to sit with. I don't think I've really come to a decision on if I can separate the art from the artist fully.
From the art.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's something the jury's still out with me right now.
I feel you. Because the thing is, the reason why I'm also mentioning what I mentioned is because I do know a few people who, you know, they met somebody, you know, especially like here in this country, like they met their favorite artist, and dude was just an asshole, you know. And then from there on, you know, then the following week, you know, homies trashing CDs and like, yo, fuck this guy, man. I'm not gonna listen.
Right.
You know, I laugh in those kind of situations because I'm like, bro, like, as long as what he says in the music hasn't changed, I'm gonna stop. You know what I mean? Unless, like, you know, if I have to give an example, unless if this guy in the music, he's such a Teletubby, like he's so happy and he's so spread joy, spread love, and then he doesn't spread love when he sees people. You know, like, yeah, fucking, like, you know.
Oh, he's killing people. That's bad.
Yeah. You know, but other than that, I don't see why you know, you should just based on that one lead. And at the same time, I would like to point out that like artists go through a lot, man. Like sometimes you just you just catch somebody at a bad day, bro. Like
you
know,
might be the 150th person to come up and say the same dumb shit to that person that day,
bro.
Like that day, like.
No, because I'm human at the end of the day. It's just not my day, man. I'm not, you know, probably I'm not like, dude, you know, some people, they're approaching you, you're going through a divorce, you're going through child custody, you're going through shit, and somebody just like thinks that, you know, it's okay to harass you with a camera phone. That's not cool. You know what I mean? Right. And then after that, then gonna tweet about it and say, fuck, Novl is such an asshole. I can't believe, never meet your heroes, guys. That's fucked up. You know what I mean? Like it's just a bad day.
I'm tweeting this right now. Never meet your heroes. I'm gonna tag you. People are gonna think you're a piece of shit.
It's just a bad day. That's all I'm saying, man. Like you can't hold me over a bad day. That's not cool, man. That's not okay. Let me have my bad day. You are allowed to have your bad days. Ain't nobody at work telling
it come through.
I see that tweet that popped up days 11. But I'm just saying, nobody out there blaming you for having a shitty day at work there when you rude to everybody in the office. You know what I mean? Nobody's saying shit.
Right.
When you fucking rude to the paper guy or to the copy guy, you know, but then I'm not allowed to be rude when I'm having a bad day. Like, fuck all of that, man. I'm having a bad day. Leave me alone. That's it.
I think a lot of it is stemmed in classism, I think. Like I think the majority of people are under the belief that every celebrity is rich out of their mind and that you have so much money, shut the fuck up and say hi to your fan. That you can't you can't have no problems in your life. There's nothing bad that could ever happen to you because you're on TV. Like, you know what I mean?
Like it's fucked up. I don't think these guys are human. They go through every single thing that you go through. Everything. It's the emotions are real. Yes, the level might be different in the sense that you stressed out about the lights, he's stressed out about family or whatever. You get what I mean? But it's yes, the dynamics is different, but the emotion is still the same. It's still a hectic stress or a weighing on this person. You get what I mean? So always remember that all human emotions are the same. Happy is happy, sad is sad, depressed is depressed, angry is angry. Whatever angry might be, I might be angry that my fucking coffee machine is not working. You angry that, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, we're both angry. It's the same. It's the same emotions. So if you need to start looking at these guys with the same islands, that they have the same emotions as you. They get tired too. They get stressed out too. They get, and you'll see you'll have a good day. You'll have a good day. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. So let's start wrapping this up a little bit. I got a couple heavy hitting closing questions to get into before you get out of here.
Hold on. Can I please grab my earphones for these ones?
Yeah, go ahead. You want to pause?
Yeah.
All right, we back. All right, so we got the headphones back in. You focused? We ready to go?
Focus, brother. Focused. I can hear you more and more clearly now. I need to really change this phone, man. Yeah.
So anyway. I have been behind the scenes as well as very publicly rooting for your success since I discovered you and since I started tapping with you, right? I'll give you just an accolade, for instance. PQ, I love the pristine queen, Aziza. She's amazing and incredible at what she does. I've never taken advantage of my relationship with her at the radio station and asked her to go above and beyond for me with anything. You are the first person I ever hit her up, and I had to be like,
stretch out that. Yeah.
I was like, look, I don't ask for a lot. I don't ask for anything. This is this for me. You gotta play this for me real quick. Like I need this on the radio. I need something like that. And like it's to that level that I really think that like you're gonna be a household name given the right opportunities, given the right steps and no missteps and shit like that. So
I appreciate that.
My question to you is, how do you define success? What are your milestones at the end of the day for you to be able to look back at your music career and say it was successful, in your words?
Longevity. For me, a legacy and longevity is more important. I want forever, and I want this music to put food on my family's table forever, not just a phase or just a season, but I want to look 20 years down the line, 10 years down the line, and I want to still see people stream Homa Beer Let Me Rap, and I want to still hear people say, this shit is changing my life. Because initially that's the first purpose and reason why I do this, to change lives, with my art. So for me, that's what success looks like. It looks like a handful of people saying that this music changed their life. And a handful of people, I'm talking about masses of people. It's more important to me that lives are changed than seeing the flashing lights. It's more important because my favorite hip-hop albums and my favorite hip-hop music changed mine. It was there for me when nobody was there for me. It was there for me in the middle of the night when I'm in tears and no one is there for me, only these albums and God. You get what I mean? So I want to be that for somebody. I want my music to be that for somebody, but just obviously at a more larger scale. And that's what I hope for.
In your own opinion, from your perspective, what do you feel like is the number one thing that could get in the way between where you're at now and where you inevitably want to end up?
That's a tough one. Damn. Like when we talk about getting in the way in a sense of just me stopping, or or getting in the way of my progress, like
So
in what
you've
aspect?
just defined success. So
Yes.
getting in the way of where you are at now, from you turning around and saying, my career has been successful.
I think I don't know. I don't know. I'll be honest. I think there has to just be a lot. Like I feel like maybe if it takes a toll on me in terms of the person that I am, then it might be a short-lived career, because I still very highly believe in self-care, in terms of if it hurts you, you gotta let it go. If it breaks the inner you and the inner person, then you gotta cut it off. So I think for me, the only thing that will get in the way of where I am right now to get into that is if the inner person gets damaged by it, by the process. I think then it'll have to be a thing of, yeah, we gotta cut this and continue with our life and continue taking care of ourselves. You know what I mean? Which I do believe. I feel like it's something that probably Dave Chappelle felt when he walked away from 50 mil. He felt like this. I
I
feel
can't
like
pretend
I
to
feel like
imagine what
he,
that felt like.
yeah, like. But I generally, we obviously we can't imagine. I mean, that's $50 million, bro. Like, it's staring at you, you know.
Right.
But I think it has a lot to do with the inner man. I think the inner man was being more damaged by it than seeing the beauty of the outcome of it, and he just decided that it's not worth it. It's not worth it, you know. And that's a lesson my mother always taught me, that if it's not worth it, you gotta let it go. You gotta just let it go. But if it's worth it, you stick it up, and you stick around and you fight for it. So I think I hope that answers your question. But
No, that was
I
beautiful.
think,
Yeah, absolutely. That was
yeah,
incredible. That was
it's
for that. Again, for these interviews, none of this is planned, right? Like we have like a 30-second conversation before we start recording. Then we record for an hour and delete it. And then we do it again. But like this is all like a genuine reaction type conversation. So like
yes,
to
sir.
feel like that and come up with that off the cuff, like that's deep.
I
So
feel
then in the same vein, so the last two questions that are coming is like, in what aspects can we expect to experience you 2023? So like I've already seen music drop from you, solo, which is fucking incredible. I've seen collabs, shout out to Black Ace. I've seen collabs that you're working on right now. That have
yeah.
been super dope. You jumped into my event cipher and was dropping shit fucking acapella, no, not like just coming in. You're
I
still
had to.
not afraid to come
I
throw it
had
down and mix it up and shit, right? What all can we expect to experience from you 2023?
to. I think 2023. I don't know if you noticed this, but Hold My Beer Let Me Rap doesn't have a rap feature.
A lot of
So it's
vocalists.
it's
It's like
it's
mostly
just
vocalists, right?
vocalist.
Yeah.
So if you never count the vocalist, right? If you never count the vocalist, it's basically a solo project, if you think about it.
Okay.
If you don't count the vocalist, if imagine if the vocalists were hidden hidden features,
I
automatically
got you.
that makes that project a solo project. So definitely a lot more features this year, in the sense of like the whatever that I'm working on. I want more features, but I want bigger features. I'm definitely just working with bigger features, and just penetrating the commercial side more, and just exploring, and obviously just moving better. Moving better with the team that I'm building. Um, Better appeal, better everything, better marketing, better music on the way. Definitely. You're only as good as your last work. So better work coming.
So let me ask you
And
this.
just yeah.
So that's a big thing you talk about. And from a marketing perspective, having a
Yes, sir.
solid project like Hold My Beer, Let Me Rap, and then doing the
Yes, sir.
features afterwards. So people like you on the feature, then they go and they tap in, they see the solo work. And I think that's really, really great direction. I agree with that. I think that's beautiful.
Yes,
How are
sir.
you deciding your features? So like for instance, I have people that I think you would pair great with all over the world, having that unique
Yeah.
voice, having that ambience on a track and feel like I never would have said Black Ace and fucking Novl. That's the fucking collaboration. Like I was shocked. I was like, oh, okay, let's see how they sound together. They're gonna challenge each other
Yeah.
in different ways. That's not necessarily obvious on the surface. Like Black Ace is my guy. We're only doing Zoom interviews now because Black Ace was the first Zoom interview I ever did, and he was willing to test that
That's
shit out with that.
crazy.
Like that's my dude
That's
for real.
crazy.
But like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
how are you deciding on these features? What is it just like people I want to work with? Is it sounds that you think go well together? Like, what is the thought process?
Obviously the music counts first, right? For me, first and foremost, I'm very good at. I'll say this, Steve, before diving into. I'm very good at knowing where I'm at my career, like the position. Do you get what I mean? Like the ranking,
Yeah.
the position. I'm very good at sussing and scoping that out. Like, oh, this is where I'm at, and this is where I need to get to, and this is what I need to do to get to that. You know, so for me to say yes to a feature, I have to number one see the music, listen to the music, like what type of music does this person make, and I dive in. If you highlight me for a feature, I'm gonna go listen to your latest project or your latest song because I need to know, like, yo, what's this person about? Secondly, it's your position in the game. Where is this person? Do you get what I mean? And the reason why I say position, not that I only want to work with people that are big or whatever, but I look at how serious you take your music. Because some people just hit you up, especially when you're on the come up level. There's too many people who just hit you up off the gas or
Right.
off the hype that's going on around you. You get what I mean? Like, oh, they speaking about this guy called Novl. Oh,
He
he's
just
done
got a
that. Let
Steve
me just
Bussa
hit him up.
GS
You know what
interview.
I mean? Yeah. You get what I mean? So now it's like, oh, I have to hit him up. Do you get what I mean? That time
Right.
you hitting me up, you have never listened to a single song I've ever made in my life.
Right.
You've never dived into my project. You don't know what range. It's the same thing with producers that I hate. I hate producers who send me beats without listening to my catalog. You do not even
Why would I be on this beat?
know.
Why would I be on this
Like,
beat ever?
you don't even know the type of music I want to make, where I'm going. But like already, you just want to sell a beat. Like that's all you care about. Like you just care about selling a beat. I'll never work with you if you have that attitude. Same applies to artists. You just want to work with me because shit, man, there's some hype going on around this person. You know what I mean? I'm never gonna work with you. It's never gonna happen. I'm sorry. So I look at that, and then third, it's the relationship. I've never worked with somebody without having a conversation with them for at least an hour on the phone in my life. Because I need to know you, I need to know the person. Because for me, in order to know the person, it's easier for us to now work on the music because we're now working on the music. We're not just recording verses and sending them to each other back and forth. We're now working on the music in the sense of I'm comfortable to tell you, I don't think that vocal range works. How about we try this? You are also comfortable enough to be like, maybe come in here. Maybe don't say
Right.
that line that way. You get what I mean? Because we've created that comfortability with each other because of the conversations we've had.
You have to have a solid rapport before you start critiquing someone.
Yes, it's
Absolutely.
very important for me to have that, and it's so crazy for me that that's so important to me that I don't even care how big you are. I think even right now, if my manager or whoever is managing me at the time managed to hook up a Kendrick feature for me, for example, I would still want to get on the phone with Kendrick, like just to talk to him. I don't like. I always hear these interviews with guys and like, oh yeah, I made this song with this person. Never spoke to them in my life, and it always puzzles me. Like how have you made a song with this person and you've never said a single word to them in your life? That doesn't work with me. It doesn't fly with me. I don't want that. So that's important for me to have that going, you know. It
How
doesn't
was
have to be
the
an hour call. Yeah,
how was the
so sorry, yeah.
relationship? How was the relationship with Black Ace? Like, how did that come about? Like, I'm just curious.
Ace,
That's
Ace,
my guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Ace is actually my guy. I met Ace
dope.
through my one boy, 31st. We call him 31st. Um, we went to the same varsity. We all went to the University
Okay.
of Johannesburg. So just a background check. I used to be a heavy Christian rap, like heavy. Like if you ever get a chance and go on Audio Mac and just search Novl, you're gonna find a project called Abstract Thoughts. Yeah, that was that era. That was like around 2015. So yeah. So anyways, 31st was my boy because we studied law together, and he happens to live in the same residence as Black Ace, you know? So he knew about me. He knew 31st used to rap as well, and I used to rap as well. He's like, oh yeah, dude, you dope. Even though you're doing the Christian rap thing, whatever, but you dope, man. Like you fly as fuck. You know what I mean? And he's like, I want you to meet somebody, you know. And he introduced me to Ace, and then but back then I remember it was just oh, you Ace, oh cool, boom, 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 boom,
Got
boom,
you.
done. Left that shit. Years go by. Around 2018, 2019, I bump into Ace in a mall or something. Oh, Ace, what's good? Ace is like, yo, dog, you should get my number, you know? We should put in that work. Take each other's number. Cool. That year passes as well. You know what I mean? Like we just talk. And then I think it was 2020 before COVID. Either it was before COVID or after COVID. But it was 2020. Like when I say after COVID, like when things have turned down a little bit, you know what I mean? So either the beginning of 2020 or towards the end of 2020, I hit him up and I invited him to my place. And we did the song called Hurts Sometimes. I arranged, you know how I am, I arranged everything.
Right.
You know, yeah, he did the verse and, you know, we kicked it. That we really started kicking it. Like him and I really just started like communicating more, talking more. Even though that song never came out, I still have that song in my heart track. Fire song. You know, and then 2021, 2022, we were just in between each other's places. Like I'll just go by him. And then we'll just dope. Yeah, and then that's just how we became friends. Like he's genuinely one of my closest friends, like for real. Like he's my boy. And we just kicked it ever since. And he's my guy. I've went to concerts with him. He's been to my shows. I've been to his shows. We have shared Black Label together.
So not the last collab, not the last collab we're gonna get between the two of y'all.
Yeah. I did tell him to wait a bit because I'm working on some shit. But it did come up. You know what I mean? It's just that he caught me in a season where my team is just also like, you know, we gotta strike while the iron is hot, you know?
Right.
So it's like, all right, let me and I told him like, let me just get this shit out the way, my boy. And then we definitely gonna make more music together because I do feel like we gel so well together. I love his rap voice. Like it's weird when a nigga says this, but I love his rap. I love his rap voice. I love his rap voice, man. I love Ace's rap voice so much. Like it's so menacing. It has this I don't know. Every time I hear Ace raps, I feel like we at some warehouse with coke on the table, waiting, hoping the cops don't raid this shit. You know what I mean? Like I always have that presence.
That's a wild voice to have, by the way. Like my guy was just talking. And you're just like, oh yeah, right now.
You know what I mean?
Right now, like
you get what I mean. So it's crazy, man. And I just love how he makes music and how he raps and how similar our story is for most parts of it. And yeah, man, like on a personal level, love that guy, man. He's my guy. He's one of my closest friends, and definitely more music from us coming. You just got to be patient, and let's get it. Let's get it done. Yeah.
Yes, sir. last thing, wrap it up. Is there any questions that you have for me or the gang that I could help address for you? Feel free to turn the tables back on me at the end.
Not really questions, but just more appreciation, man. In the sense that, you know, a lot of music critics don't listen to music that intensively, like, and in detail. And you are one of those people that really, really plug in. You know what I mean? Like, you don't plug in because fuck it, I gotta push numbers on the channel, but you plug in because you love the music, you know what I mean? And you love what you do. And seeing you love what you do and motivates me. It puts me on. It puts me in a position where it's like, even when I'm in studio sometimes nowadays, I'm always like, fuck, I know Steve's gonna love this one. You know what I mean? Like so to have that, it's it's so important to me. Like, for real, it's such a blessing, bro. Like, for real, like I always can't wait for your reactions. I always can't wait to hear what your opinion is on whatever I'm putting out there to the world, you know?
That's heavy, bro.
So
I appreciate that. That's
yeah,
heavy.
I
appreciate that.
I wanna give you your flowers, bro. I really wanna give you your flowers, bro, while you can still smell them. And let's go.
Let's go.
2023 let's go, man. 2023 is gonna be beautiful, it's gonna be amazing. Yeah, that's all I gotta say, bro. That's all I gotta say.
Cool. Shout out to the gang. Let them know where to follow you and how to support you, and then we out.
Yo, you can find me on Twitter at NOVL ____. Same thing on Instagram at NOVL ___. Go check that out. Homa BLME Rap out. Amazing project. Please go stream it. Share it with your friends, share it with your family. Play it in the shower, play it in the whip, play it at the bar, play it at your bar mitzvah, play it everywhere, man. I don't know, man. Just play it everywhere. Play that shit everywhere, bro. You know, play it at church, man. I got everything for everybody. You know, I got something for the
wild church. That's a wild sermon.
I got everything for everybody. You know what I mean? But yo, I also just want to say, Steve, thank you so much for this intense interview. You allowed me to unpack to another level, man. Like, yo,
this was dope. This was dope, dog.
Yo, bro, like, for real. I never thought I would dive deep like this with an interview. So I really appreciate that. And more music coming. That's what I can promise. More music coming. 2023 Novl is gonna be amazing. So let's get it.
Tap in if you guys haven't tapped in. Will not be the last time that you hear or see Novl on this channel. So get it now before it becomes a bandwagon situation when this guy inevitably blows up. Say you got it at the ground level, you know what I'm saying? So
before they get mad at me. Before they get mad at me for not saying shit, like, oh, Novl was such an asshole. I can't believe it.
Lyrical Novl, you heard it here. You was in from the beginning.
Yo, we knew you before all of this shit.
He's Hollywood. He's Hollywood.
Hey, yo, man. But yo, shout out, bro. Shout out.
Tap in with this shit, dog. Yeah. Look, as always, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I will catch y'all on the next one. Let's go.